All right, it's downstairs.
3 local plumbers
There's a drip under there, too.
caught on hidden cameras
This is a 50-gallon, looks like.
trying to charge our producer
About $60 in labor.
$190? $190 to replace the spout? For parts
Try to determine where the leak is coming from.
and repairs this hot water heater doesn't need.
There's absolutely nothing wrong with this water here.
Frank Zako is a state-certified plumbing inspector and instructor with nearly 50 years' experience under his belt. He says this 6-year-old hot water heater runs like a top.
Great condition.
We purposely opened the drain valve on this hot water heater, creating a slow drip. A minor symptom, says Zako, with simple solutions.
Closing the valve tightly or replacing the valve, which is a minor repair.
If we needed a new valve, and we don't, one for this particular unit cost us $7. Our producer made appointments with 7 plumbers.
Hi, Brian.
Major companies like Roto-Rooter to one-man operations.
I got your phone number from Craigslist.
She told them the valve on this hot water heater is leaking.
The little valve.
We placed hidden cameras throughout the basement
So we got this leak.
and watched on monitors from this upstairs bedroom.
I don't know what the deal is.
4 of the 7 plumbers we called over to this house
Oh, it's coming from right here.
spotted the problem immediately.
This leak right here, it's not good, shut off. That's an easy fix. That's a screwdriver.
They merely tightened up the loose screw and charged us for the service call.
20, 40, 60.
But these 3 either didn't notice the loose screw or flat out tried to rip us off, like Brian Grimm, an unlicensed plumber we found on Craigslist.
Drain from the bottom of the water heater. It's leaking through that. I don't know if we're able to just turn it off. and
Okay.
to stop leaking.
Watch what happens when our producer leaves the basement. Grimm tightens up the screw and the valve stops leaking. He then loosens the screw and lies to his customer.
I turned it, try to turn it to shut it off.
Right,
And there's still water leaking through it.
so you tried to shut it off, okay, so basically what it means is I need that new spigot.
Yep.
Grimm says he can replace this valve for $60 plus parts. Hey, Brian. Tom Susie, ABC 6. I show him there's nothing wrong with this valve and tighten up the loose screw. And it's not leaking.
No, it's not.
How do you explain it?
Not.
Why not?
That was my mistake.
Was it a mistake or are you trying to rip her off?
No, I'm not trying to rip her off.
Grimm quickly packs up his stuff and drives off. This technician with Roto-Rooter does a quick visual inspection and runs his fingers around the valve and bottom of the tank. He tells our producer there's water leaking from both the valve area and under the tank.
So that's telling me there might be a crack in the tank,
A crack in the tank, wow.
unless somebody was working on it and didn't seal something up right. That would be the only other thing.
No one worked on this hot water heater, and remember, according to our expert, there's nothing wrong with it.
Doesn't need replaced, not dripping, no leakage at all.
This technician, though, claims we have a problem.
So what are you saying? Is that I have to get a new tank, or is there a way to replace the tank?
Well, we can replace the spout and see if that stops the whole leak.
Replacing this $7 part would not be cheap.
Normally it's $190 plus parts plus trip charge to pick it up, because that's not something we can actually carry with us.
I show this technician it's just a loose screw.
Let me do this right here. Let me take this screwdriver.
Why replace the spout? It's not leaking.
No, I just told her the spout wasn't leaking if you was listening.
Well, I was listening, but you still wanted to replace it. Discussion over.
You can talk to a manager.
Roto-Rooter declined to be interviewed for this investigation, instead issuing this statement. Our goal on every service call is to provide an accurate, honest diagnosis of plumbing-related issues. If evidence is shown suggesting this may not be the case, it is our policy to thoroughly investigate and address it promptly. Justin McNeely runs Mr. Plumber. This ad on Craigslist claims it has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. ABC 6 investigators checked it out. Turns out Mr. Plumber actually has an F rating for failing to respond to customer complaints. Justin McNeely isn't making the grade either.
Oh boy.
In 2009, the city of Columbus busted him for working without a license. According to city and state records, both McNeely and Mr. Plumber are still unlicensed. And just last year, McNeely was arrested for writing this plumbing supply company a bogus check for $1,200.
With out of warranty.
Back to our undercover investigation. In just 12 seconds, McNeely knew exactly why this valve was dripping.
Yep, alright, I see what it is.
Okay, found your leak.
He quickly delivers the bad news to his customer. He tells our producer these threads are bad and that's why the valve is leaking. McNeely never removed this valve.
Two options you can do. I can braze it together, or we can get a new tank.
A whole new tank?
Watch what happens before our producer meets him in the basement. He scoops up a few handfuls of water and splashes it over the valve. He then shows our producer where he says there's a leak.
Right in here.
He tells her the repair will cost $125. Justin, we move in. Tom Susie, ABC 6 on your side, for some answers.
Alright.
What's wrong with the hot water heater?
Yeah, we're leaking out of the valve.
I explained to McNeely we purposely loosened the screw. What do you make of that? I just fixed it.
Okay.
He backpedals and tells me it's preventative maintenance.
A lot of times the seals go out inside of them.
I tell this unlicensed plumber we had this hot water heater inspected by a plumber with nearly 50 years of experience, and it passed with flying colors. There is no leak.
That's fine.
Why are you trying to sell her something she doesn't need? I told him we were watching on hidden cameras and heard every single word.
It's leaking from around that well.
We had four other plumbers come out here under the same scenario, and they merely came down here and turned the screw and said, that's it. Why couldn't you do that?
I mean, we could have.